Berger.
Here.
Trustee Garvey.
Here.
Trustee Zalick.
Here.
Trustee Gieser.
Here.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Here.
Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Savarino.
Here. Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There a motion to approve the minutes of our June 21st, 2021 Village Board meeting?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Zalick. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Yes.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve but not release the executive session minutes of our June 21st, 2021 Village Board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Berger, seconded by Trustee Fruzzoloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Under listening posts, we have quite a few resolutions to read and one proclamation, and I will start off with resolution number 3199, a resolution honoring Lisa Lake upon her 25th anniversary of employment with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Whereas Lisa Lake was hired as a records clerk for the Carroll Stream Police Department on April 25th, 1995, and whereas Lisa Lake has been honored with several commendations during her career. And whereas Lisa Lake is responsible for training new records clerks. And whereas Lisa Lake has been employed as a public servant for 25 years as a records clerk with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream, on behalf of all the former, present, elected, appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream, that under Section 1, the service and dedication Lisa Lake provides to the Village of Carroll Stream and accomplishments in assisting all law enforcement officers in providing a valuable service to the residents of Carroll Stream are hereby recognized and commended. Section 2, Lisa Lake is wished the very best of happiness and health in her continued employment with the Village of Carroll Stream. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approved by law. Passed and approved this 19th day of July, 2021. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Fruzzoloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
The next is resolution number 3200, honoring Eileen Malloy Langdon upon her 25th anniversary of employment, and Trustee Gieser had asked if he could read that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Whereas Eileen Malloy Langdon was hired as a social worker for the Village of Carroll Stream on May 8th, 1995. Whereas Eileen Malloy Langdon has been honored with several commendations during her career and has helped hundreds of children and families solve a variety of personal issues to enrich their lives. And whereas Eileen Malloy Langdon has been the official toy coordinator for the successful Christmas sharing program, providing toys and smiles to thousands of children over her career. And whereas Eileen Malloy Langdon founded Restore, Carroll Stream Peacemakers, which brings together residents and promotes the principles of restorative justice to Carroll Stream. And whereas Eileen Malloy Langdon has been an active member, published author, and served as the president of the Association of Police Social Services. And whereas Eileen Malloy Langdon has been employed as a public servant for 25 years as a social worker with the Village of Carroll Stream. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream on behalf of all the former and present elected and appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream that Section 1, the services and dedication Eileen Malloy Langdon provides to the Village of Carroll Stream and accomplishments in assisting all citizens and providing a valuable service to the residents of Carroll Stream are recognized and commended. Section 2, Eileen Malloy Langdon is wished the very best of happiness and health in her continued employment with the Village of Carroll Stream. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approved by law, passed the 19th day of July, 2021.
Thank you, Trustee Geezer.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Geezer, seconded by Trustee Garvey. Clerk, call a roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni. Aye. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
The next resolution is number 3201, honoring Kurt Snyder upon his 25th anniversary of employment with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department, and Trustee Zalick has asked to read that.
Whereas Kurt Schneider joined the Carroll Stream Police Department as a police officer on May 22nd, 1995. And whereas Kurt Schneider has been honored with several commendations during his career. And whereas Kurt Schneider performed in several roles including traffic officer, honor guard, special operations unit, rapid deployment, active shooter instructor, rescue task force training instructor. And Kurt Schneider served as a SWAT operator throughout DuPage County, representing the police department for 17 years, where he held the role of assistant team leader and less lethal instructor. And whereas Kurt Schneider was promoted to sergeant on May 7th, 2018, and whereas Kurt Schneider graduated from Northwestern University's School of Police Staff and Command in 2021. And whereas Kurt Schneider has been employed as a public servant for 25 years as a police officer with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream on behalf of all the former and present elected and appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream that Sergeant Kurt Schneider's service and dedication to the Village of Carroll Stream and accomplishments in the field of law enforcement are hereby recognized and commended. And Sergeant Kurt Schneider is wished the very best of happiness and health in his continued employment with the Village of Carroll Stream. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and as approved by law, passed and approved on this 19th day of July 2021. And I would like to make a motion to approve it.
Motion by Trustee Zalick, seconded by Trustee McCarthy. Clerk, call a roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni. Aye. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
The next is resolution number 3202, honoring John Jungers upon his 25th anniversary of employment with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department, and Trustee McCarthy has asked if he could read that.
Whereas John Jungers joined the Carroll Stream Police Department as a police officer on June 24th, 1996. And whereas John Jungers performed in several roles, including traffic officer, evidence technician, honor guard, and accident reconstructionist. And whereas John Jungers has been honored with several commendations during his career, and whereas John Jungers was promoted to sergeant on July 19th, 2004, and whereas John Jungers was promoted to commander on May 3rd, 2010, and whereas John Jungers was promoted to deputy chief on April 6, 2015. And whereas John Jungers graduated from a training program at the prestigious FBI National Academy in 2016. And whereas John Jungers has been employed as a public servant for 25 years as a police officer with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream, on behalf of all the former and present elected and appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream, that Section 1 Deputy Chief John Jungers' service and dedication to the Village of Carroll Stream and accomplishments in the field of law enforcement are hereby recognized and commended. And Section 2, Deputy Chief John Jungers is wished the very best of happiness and health in his continued employment with the Village of Carroll Stream. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and as approved by law on this 19th day of July, 2021, and I'll make that motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Berger. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni. Aye. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
The next is resolution number 3204, honoring Chad Paskovitz upon his 20th anniversary of employment with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Oh, I missed Baber. Okay. I was scratched him off already.
We all
Sorry.
do.
Well, let's go back. We'll go to number 5. That's number 3203, honoring Kevin Baber upon his 20th anniversary of employment with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. And Mary has asked if she could read that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas Kevin Baber joined the Carroll Stream Police Department as a police officer on March 8th, 2020, and whereas Kevin Baber has been honored with several commendations during his career, and whereas Kevin Baber has served in a supervisory capacity since 2018 as officer in charge and corporal in the patrol division, and whereas Kevin Baber has taken the lead as a MEGGITT instructor, where he has trained officers, civilians, police explorers, church members, and volunteers. And whereas Kevin Baber has been employed as a public servant for 20 years as a police officer with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream on behalf of all former and present elected and appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream that Section 1, Officer Kevin Baber's service and dedication to the Village of Carroll Stream and accomplishments in the field of law enforcement are hereby recognized and commended. Section 2, Officer Kevin Baber is wished the very best of happiness and health in his continued employment with the Village of Carroll Stream. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage as approved by law, passed and approved this 19th day of July, 2021, and I will make the motion.
I'll second.
Moved by trustee Fruzzoloni, seconded by trustee Zalick.
Yeah, the quiet one.
Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Now we get the next one, resolution number 3204, honoring Chad Paskovitz upon his 20th anniversary of employment with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department, and trustee Garvey will read that one.
Resolution number 3204, a resolution honoring Chad Paskovitz upon his 20th anniversary of employment with the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Whereas Chad Paskovitz joined the Carroll Stream Police Department as a police officer on April 5th, 2000. Whereas Chad Paskovitz has been honored with several commendations during his career. And whereas Chad Paskovitz served in many capacities, divisions, and performed numerous specialties. And whereas Chad Paskovitz was promoted to the role of sergeant in 2010 and is currently assigned to the Special Operations Unit. And whereas Chad Paskovitz has many roles within the police department, from investigations supervisor, special operations supervisor, range supervisor, property control room responsibilities, police impound lot duties, active assailant training instructor, juvenile officer, main researcher and developer of the drone program, SWAT team operator, corporal officer in charge training program, Narcan program, search and rescue team. And whereas Chad Paskovitz created an active assailant safety training program for village employees and extended the training to businesses and organizations within the village. And whereas Chad Paskovitz has been most recently taken on a new role with MERIT as a crisis negotiator in 2021. And whereas Chad Paskovitz has been employed as a public servant for 20 years as a police officer within the Village of Carroll Stream Police Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream, on behalf of all the former and present elected and appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream, that Section 1, Sergeant Chad Paskovitz's service and dedication to the Village of Carroll Stream and accomplishments in the field of law enforcement are hereby recognized and commended. Section 2, Sergeant Chad Paskovitz is wished the very best of happiness and health in his continued employment with the Village of Carroll Stream. This resolution shall be enforced and in effect from and after its passage and is approved by law, passed and approved on this 19th day of July, 2021, and I would be honored to make that motion.
Second?
Moved by trustee Garvey, seconded by trustee Frizzaloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni. Aye. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
The next is a proclamation proclaiming support for walking and health, and trustee Berger has asked to write that one.
Good start. Proclamating support for walking and health. Whereas 1 out of every 2 U.S. adults is living with chronic disease such as heart disease, cancer, or diabetes, and whereas these diseases are the leading causes of premature death and disability and leading drivers of the nation's $3.5 trillion in annual health care costs, whereas the health of the community's workforce affects economic development and chronic disease increases costs to employers in lost productivity and higher health care expenditures, and whereas physical activity can reduce illness from chronic diseases and premature death, regular physical activity helps prevent risk factors for disease such as high blood pressure and weight gain, and protects against multiple chronic diseases such as heart disease, stroke, some cancers, type 2 diabetes, and depression. And whereas an individual's decision to walk can be made easier by programs and policies that provide opportunities and encouragement for walking and by improvements to community walkability. And whereas Carroll Stream promotes walking and bicycling through the creation of extensive bike and pedestrian paths. And whereas Mayor Savarino will host 4 Move with the Mayor events at Town Center on July 31st, August 7th, August 14th, August 28th at 9 a.m. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Frank Savarino, and the Carroll Stream Village Board of Trustees, DuPage County, Illinois, in the exercise of its home rule powers, do hereby proclaim the village support for walking and improved health and urge citizens to take part in healthy behavior by walking the village's many trails or joining us at the town center for a Move with the Mayor event. Proclaim this day, 19th day of July, 2021.
Thank you, trustee Berger. Before we go into the addresses from the audience, I have 3 tonight. I have one that I want to read before we want to give these out to the people that are here that got their 25 years and 20 years. I'd like Jim Benson. Would you come and take the podium, please? You said you're on you wanted to talk about Memorial Plaza. I think it would be fitting if you talk before we give them the awards.
Evening, guys. Nice to see you again. For those of you who don't know me, Jim Benson, 380 Barton Place, Carroll Stream, Illinois, current Vice Commander of the VFW post in Carroll Stream. As you may or may not know, on Friday night, the Veterans Memorial Plaza was vandalized. We've all known it's not a matter of if, but when, because it's always going to happen. Saturday, when I went out there, Saturday morning, I go out a couple, 3 times a week to clean up, check it out. And throughout the week, some of the other members of the post go out there and clean it up and check it out. So when I got there Saturday morning, I was checking it out and I noticed something wasn't right. And as I walked towards the memorial, about 12 feet of the sitting wall was graffitied. I won't go into it. The artwork was terrible, but I probably have haven't used that language in 50 years. It's a good thing nobody was around. After I calmed down, I called it in, and 2 Carroll Stream police officers came out, and they got the information from me. They walked over. They checked out the graffiti, took some pictures, told me they would take care of it and follow up, and they went on about their business. I went down the street to report it to Jim and Pam at the Park District, and then I decided to go over and get some lunch. And for some reason, I decided to go back to the memorial to eat it, which I do on a regular basis, and hide from my wife what I eat. So as I was sitting there, 2 squad cars pulled up. And I said, well, they probably heard about it, and we're going to check it out. And they got out of their car, and they walked over to the memorial, and one of the officers, and I may get emotional, one of the officers went back to his car, got a bottle of water, walked over to the memorial, pouring it on it, and was trying to wipe it off with his hands. The other officer I saw walking towards the house over there. And in a couple minutes, I saw him walking back, pushing a mop bucket, having cleaning supplies in his arms. They went around to the corner. They started testing it to see if they could clean it off. I says, I wasn't expecting that. So I got out of my car and I walked over there and I said, guys, let me help you out. I don't want you to get your uniforms messed up. And they laughed and they said, no, that's okay. We got this. And I said, well, don't you have guys that can come out and do this? And they said to me that it was a weekend. They probably wouldn't get out there till Monday, and they didn't want it there. It was disrespectful, and it had to go. For the next 20 to 30 minutes, these 2 officers scrubbed and cleaned the graffiti off the wall. As they were doing it, I was talking to them, and we had a nice discussion about a variety of things. And I expressed my thanks to them for what they did. And they said, oh, no problem. It had to be done. And so they got all the stuff together, and they cleaned up. And I got back in my car, and I just could not let it end there. If I hadn't come back for my lunch, it was just a fluke at that time, nobody would have seen it. Nobody would have seen who done it. And as my understanding, they didn't tell anybody up to this point. So I am here to embarrass them as much as I can. The 2 officers were Sergeant John, I hope I say his last name right, Buchholz. And the other officer was Russ Fry. The only disappointing part about it is I found out that Russ was an ex-Marine. But we don't hold that against him. But what I did want to do and what I wanted to say is I'm not here to talk about the ignorant people of the world. And I'm not here to talk about security, which I'm sure you'll see me back to talk about that at some time. But I remembered that Mr. Rogers thing, that whenever something bad happens, look for the good people. These 2 gentlemen are some of the best. They honored every brick that's in that memorial and every veteran in this community. And I just wish there was something that I could do to thank them more than be here this evening. All of these officers in the back, I've been in Carroll Stream 25 years. I have never once, well, There was that ticket on Kuhn and Thunderbird for not coming to a complete stop, which we can still discuss, but I'm not upset about it 20 years later. I have always had a positive experience with you guys. You've always been there for the veterans. You've always been there to help us out. And I don't see the gentleman that helped us that night or that day, but if you could pass the word back to them, Lou and I would like to thank you personally for that. And last but not least, I took out my camera, and I'm not a techie person. I'll show you just so you can understand this. This is my phone.
I got the flip phone.
Don't laugh at me. I'm a senior and I'm a veteran, okay? I took this out. I took some pictures. Not their best side, but it's their good side. My wife was able to transfer them over so I can print them up. And I thought you guys would like to see two of your best. Uncalled for, unknown. I just got to meet your new chief. He had no idea what happened. And I'll bet you anything that every single one of you here wearing the uniform has done something without getting credit for it. So tonight, you guys get credit for it.
Well, I think that deserves a hand.
Anything, questions or anything, nothing? Okay, the union, looks as good as new, and, we'll be out there checking on it on a regular basis, and, you know, it is the best thing we've ever done here at Carroll Stream as far as I'm concerned, but I'm prejudiced. But thanks to you guys, it doesn't happen every day. Thank you all.
Littering.
Thank you, Mr. Benson.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Would the people, anybody that's here that got an award tonight for 25 years or would you come forward, please? I think we only have 3.
Come all the way back here.
She gets to stand next to me.
Can I hear them behind you? Yeah, you get to stand right next to me. Always in the back. Okay. Wait a second, you're snapping a picture. I got my glasses on.
I'm just making the focus wake up. I'm not taking pictures yet. All right, 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, thank you. I think now you understand why I wanted Jim to read that before the room cleared out once we took the picture. Usually everybody leaves, but I wanted the officers that are here to see. We are very proud of our police department and have been forever. That'll always be that way because that's the type of police officers we have. I know they did it. I'm surprised because usually it's not, in most towns, they would just report it and Public Works would have been out there in the Park District. But they took the time because they know what that memorial meant to all of us. Raising money here in Carroll Stream to build that memorial, and Jim, that was, and I said it, and some of you maybe have never heard, we're living in that memorial in his dream. That was what he wanted. It started with the old memorial, and we talked about putting money together. There was a team, I think Ricky was on that team.
Yep.
Trustee Geezer, a bunch of us were all involved in it. We were going to help, but it wasn't going to go on Thunderbird. Nothing against Thunderbird with the creek turning in. It just wasn't the right place to put it. There's no place to park. We needed to put it at the town center, and the board approved the town center immediately. There wasn't even any discussion. We all agreed. Then the question came in, we had a raise over $230,000. That became a problem because we don't have the money to put in there. None of us are that wealthy that we could write a check for $50,000, so we started doing fundraisers. But that project is Jim Benson's dream, and we were in that dream to build that. I am very angry that somebody would go over there and do that, and if we could call that a hate crime, I'm maybe outstepping what I'm saying, but I'm very upset that anybody, I drive by there looking for that almost every day. I'll pull in. I am very upset. I will make sure that whoever, if we catch who did it, or the next person that gets caught, everything we could do to put them in jail and make them pay for it and humiliate them will be there. People died to have their names in there. People worked hard. A lot of people worked hard. A lot of people in this town put in their last $2 and $3. They were collecting 50 cents and $1 at a time to build that $230,000 memorial. So it upsets me that someone would go in there and damage it in any way at all. Period. I'm not going to say anymore because I'm going to get carried away. I'm going to slip and say something I'm going to pay for later on. But I would like to look into it to see if we could make it a hate crime, because I look at whoever doesn't like the United States of America, it's a hate crime. And if they did that, then I want them prosecuted that way. That's my opinion. Okay? So thank you all for coming in. We have a couple of more. I'm sure you don't want to stay. I'm done. It's like, okay, thank you. Thank you for everybody, and those that didn't show up. We understand that you couldn't be here. You might work a 12-hour shift yesterday and then not here today. So, but thank you.
And I'd just like to say, Mr. Mayor, that I met Jim Benson there on Sunday to look over it again. And whoever, the gentlemen, the officers who cleaned it up, they did a masterful job, because as Jim is showing me the pictures of the horribleness that was put on the walls, it was perfectly clean. So it was very good that they did it. And as you said, Mr. Mayor, we put a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, and forget about us who helped pay for it, the people who paid with their lives.
Exactly. Okay, so then we have two people for the listening post have sent in information. Clerk, are you
Certainly.
ready to read those?
Certainly. The first comment is from Travis Melheim for the July 19th Village Board meeting pertaining to overnight street parking. For the past 4 months, cars have been parking overnight and sometimes days without moving in front of my house. Not a single ticket has been issued. Now we have 3 cars that do this on a regular basis. I have called police, called 911. None of this helps. I have had many tickets over the years for overnight parking, and I live here. Been told lots of stories by police why they are not getting tickets. I've been trying to get neighbors to complain and been told that they have been. When is this going to stop? Why are tickets not racking up? Unpaid tickets have got to be a good money maker for you. I will not stop this fight till I see an improvement. Thank you for your time, Travis. And the second comment is from Kevin Donahoe also for the July 19th Village Board meeting regarding the 4th of July observance. I understand how it happened, but I was surprised at how little Carroll Stream did to observe the 4th of July. I think the most likely reason this happened is actually one of the reasons why I'm so proud of my village. The mayor and the board do not control everything. This village is run much more like a family, and the usual way we celebrate the 4th had to be canceled. But you are the stewards of this town, and someone should have identified that this important holiday was going unobserved. There are many important dates that you cover well, but the 4th is different. Because without Independence Day, there is no U.S., no Illinois, no Carroll Stream, no mayor, no village board, and no listening post, where I, as a resident of Carroll Stream, have the right, duty, and responsibility to work with you to make this a great place to live. I expect many of you will have some great things to say about the 4th tonight, but I feel that this is too late. Imagine if you had announced today that last June was Pride Month. After the fact means much less. But there is another reason the 4th is special. The rights, duties, and responsibilities that follow directly from the 4th have to be celebrated and protected proactively just because they are so hard to regain retroactively if lost. I'm not trying to make a gigantic deal out of this. Even something as small as a special statement at the last meeting would have been appropriate, though I'm sure others could have come up with better ideas. I think some people who comment at you watch too much Hannity or Maddow. There was no evil plot here, no collusion with Putin. I just wanted to let you know I think you could have done better. God bless Carroll Stream and God bless the United States of America.
Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Frizzaloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger. Aye. Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what is on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Board and Commission reports. Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals. Midwest Star Group 130 Easy Street. Special use permit for outdoor activities and operations. Truck and trailer parking. Special use permit for parking lot not incidental to a permitted use. Zoning and fence code variations. Plat of consolidation. Recommend approval with conditions 4-1.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Pacific Botanical Laboratories LLC, 690 East North Avenue. Application withdrawn, no village board action necessary. Culver's, 290 South Shmail Road. Amendment to a special use permit for additional drive-through service lane. Recommend approval with conditions 7-0.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Lifeline Ambulance LLC, 150 East St. Charles Road. Special use permit for training facility. Recommend approval with conditions 7-0.
Yes.
Yes. Staff reports and recommendations. Approval of a contract in the amount of $20,000 with Melrose Pyrotechnics, subject to Chapter 5, Article 8, Section 5-8-14A and B of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Contract for purchase and delivery of decorative light fixtures, bulbs, and supplies to City Electric Supply in the amount of $237,080.93.
Yes.
Yes.
Contract for salt dome floor replacement and door installation to Landmark Contractors in the amount of $104,022.60.
Yes.
Yes.
Authorization to use IDOT Section 1440 procedure to begin Southeast Bike Trail Phase 2 design at risk and authorize the mayor to sign the letter of request.
Yes.
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 Ordinances. Ordinance approving a special use permit for outdoor activities and operations, storage of trucks and trailers, special use permit for a garage or parking lot for motor vehicles not incidental to a permitted use, and a zoning code variation, Midwest Star Group 130 Easy Street.
Yes.
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 That is ordinance number 2021-07-26. Ordinance approving an amendment to a special use permit for a drive-through, Kimlee Horn Culver's, 290 South Shmail Road.
Yes.
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 That is ordinance number 2021-07-27. Ordinance approving a special use permit for a training facility, Lifeline Ambulance LLC, 150 East St. Charles Road.
Yes.
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 That is ordinance number 2021-07-28. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class N liquor licenses from 0 to 1 for American Legion Post Number 76, Building Corp. Doing business as American Legion Post Number 76, located at 570 South Gary Avenue.
Yes.
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 That is ordinance number 2021-07-29. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by decreasing the number of Class C liquor licenses from 19 to 18, AKT Beverages Incorporated, doing business as Mo Liquor, and increasing the number of Class C liquor licenses from 18 to 19, Diva Liquor LLC, doing business as Mo Liquor, located at 1356 Army Trail Road.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2021-07-30. Resolutions. Resolution authorizing a plat of consolidation, Midwest Star Group, Mergenthalers Consolidation, 130 Easy Street.
Yes.
Yes. That is resolution number 3205. Resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an easement encroachment agreement between the Village of Carroll Stream and Jim and Kristen Cudden for the construction of a 3-season room addition at 694 Chestnut Drive.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3206. Resolution for maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code 2021 Crackville project with a cost estimate of $75,000.
Yes.
Yes. That is resolution number 3207. New business, Carroll Stream Chamber of Commerce, approval of a raffle license and waiver of the fee and manager's fidelity bond for the John Wheeler Golf Tournament on September 23rd, 2021.
Yes.
Yes. Payment of bills, regular bills, June 22nd, 2021 through July 6th, 2021.
Yes.
Addendum warrants, June 22nd, 2021 through July 6th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Regular bills, July 7th, 2021 through July 19th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes. Addendum warrants, July 7th, 2021 through July 19th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
And that concludes all the items on the consent agenda.
Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Gieser, seconded by
Zalick.
trustee Zalick. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Mr. Rhodes, did I miss that? Was I supposed to put that on the consent agenda? Okay, I knew you raised your hand for a reason. I'm trying to shuffle all these papers around. Do I have to backtrack to that?
We can make a motion to put them on the consent agenda and then just.
Okay. Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda? No, I saw his hand go up. I knew I missed something, so.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Pluzzoloni, seconded by trustee McCarthy. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Whew. Now we could approve it. Okay. So is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So move.
Second.
Moved by trustee Berger, seconded by trustee
Gieser.
Gieser. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
And Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Will that show up that we voted twice? We don't have to vote next time?
The first one was withdrawn so that we do it correctly.
Good, thank you. I saw your hand go up, and I knew I did something wrong. Okay, got it. Report officers, trustee Berger.
Thank you. First, regarding the graffiti, I think there's already been a lot of great comments about that I would stand behind, but I would like to offer my thanks to the two officers who showed up there and went above and beyond to clean that up. Makes you feel a little bit better about the community, more so than dealing with what they had to deal with. So we'll keep focusing on the positive there. Also, in the last 2 weeks, I've attended 4 concerts. REO Speedwagon, AJR, Sammy Hagar, and by far the best one was Breakfast Club at the town center. It was great to see so many people come out. Kudos to those who stuck it out in the rain. There were a few people still out there in the dark, huddled up in the rain. But I know a lot of work goes into this too, so I'd like to thank those who plan these and are behind the execution of it, and certainly to the volunteers who are out there in the rain also, along with us, although some of us found some shelter for part of that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Also, and I know we've made comments about this before, but I'm always really impressed. I mean, I haven't been here very long yet. I've just had a handful of board meetings, and I'm really impressed at the longevity of employees on the village staff and the police department. I think that says a lot about the culture, and it says a lot about the community also. So I just wanted to congratulate everybody on that, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Berger. Trustee Garvey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to commend all those officers for their longevity with Carroll Stream. I admire them for their commitment to the community, especially the two officers that went above and beyond the call of duty. I appreciate that and admire them for that effort. Regarding that incident, I'd like to maybe pursue the idea that we put some sort of a camera on that location. It just runs 24/7. Doesn't have to be attached to anything online, but, you know, so that we can download what might have happened there, get some identification. I also enjoyed the concert Thursday night, regardless of the weather, as it turned. I find the most joy was actually going out and meeting more of the people. I've recalled that how much fun that was during campaigns, and I just feel better about it afterwards. So I appreciate that we're doing that. I'm glad that we reinstated it. I want to thank all the volunteers and Tia for setting it all up. You get some really good bands, and that one was an excellent one. That lead singer was a lot of fun. So if anybody's listening out there, come to the next one because it promises to be even better. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Garvey. And for the two new trustees that were your first concert, thank you for both being there and for the job you did walking around talking to people. That's really what we do. I don't want to get into the comment that was made earlier on what we're not doing, but thank you for being there. That was very important. Thank you. Trustee Zalik.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to thank, being a former member of the police department, I know all of these individuals, and I want to thank Lisa, Eileen, Kurt, John, Kevin, and Chad for their service to the village and its residents. I, on the other hand, being a police officer, would like to say shame on the individuals that are ignorant and cowardness. I like to look at the positives, but they have to be called out. It sickens me, you know, you saw the looting and you see all the state government or the federal government, and you see the lawlessness, and it just, shame on you. I mean, you don't know what that monument means to a lot of people, and I don't know if you're just bored or just plain old ignorant, but shame on you. And hopefully they get caught or something, hopefully they get caught. What comes around goes around. I want to thank Sergeant Buckholz and Officer Fry for their efforts, not being recognized, but they went above and beyond, which happens a lot. And Jim said it best when he said that you know, a lot of things happen in the police department and they go unrecognized, and we don't do it. You know, not only in Carroll Stream but everywhere. You know, you hear of someone saying like, "Well, it was my job. It's my job." You know, so thank you to John and Russ for that. I was on vacation prior to the first concert, so I'm sorry I missed it, but I look forward to seeing all the residents at concert number 2 this Thursday. And finally, I know there's a gathering for our staff and our employees for all their efforts during this COVID fiasco. I can't attend because I'm working, but I want to thank each and every employee of the village for a job well done during this trying time. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Zalik. Trustee Gieser.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I, too, would like to congratulate all we honored for their longevity as employees and officers of the police department here at Carroll Stream. We say it every meeting, it seems like, but we thank you for your efforts, and we're just amazed at the fact that people stay so long. So as the other trustees have said, it is a testament to the culture here and to the quality of our community. So thank you for all you do to the community. Thank you to Jim Benson for stopping by and recognizing these officers who went above and beyond the call of duty. Thank you for letting us know this and letting the public know just another example that we have great officers within our community. We mentioned, other people have mentioned the Thursday night concert this week with Seventh Heaven, but we haven't mentioned that it is our concert for the troops, and we will be collecting money, Tia?
That is correct. We'll be collecting money for Operations Support Our Troops through all of our concerts this summer. You just need to find staff located at a table over by the Visitor Center, and we'll have a donation box available.
So thank you. So hopefully if you have a few extra dollars, you'll have an opportunity to donate to this worthy cause that helps get care packages off to those stationed around the world. And something that's going on in the community also tomorrow I'd like to mention is that the library will be having a COVID-19 vaccination event from noon until 1:30, no appointment necessary. So hopefully if you haven't got your vaccination and you're interested in getting a vaccination, you'd head on over to the library and get that done. That's my report.
Are they giving like free lottery tickets or anything? I already got mine, but if they're giving anything.
Free library card.
You fill out the form and you'll get into
Another
that.
very touchy subject.
Okay.
Thank you for putting it on that they're going to be there. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a comment?
Pardon me?
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
If you had an agenda item on tonight's agenda, it's been approved by a consent agenda, so you can pick up your permit.
Well, except for you guys.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you want them to leave? We haven't seen them in a year and a half.
I was just informing them that their
permit. Those are the Culver's people, those that don't know. Thank you. We appreciate everything you do for the community, believe me. Do you want to get rid of them, Bob?
You trying to get rid of them?
Okay. Thank you.
They were nice and comfortable there, Bob.
Now they have to go back to work.
Embarrassed them, Bob. Now they're leaving. Come on.
Trustee Frizzoloni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to congratulate Lisa, Eileen, Kurt, John, Kevin, and Chad. What I'm happy is that we were reading service awards tonight and not retirements, because it easily could be retirements. I'm honored to call every one of these individuals friends. I've known them since well before I was on the village board. I was honored to read Kevin's resolution because Kevin was actually the first police officer that I actually got to know on a very personal level when I did the Citizens Police Academy. I did my ride-along with him the Sunday morning after Thanksgiving, because that was, my sister had done CPA with me, and that was the only time she was available. And Kevin and I spent 4 hours together. We could find nothing going on in town other than my neighbor's mailbox had been vandalized. We found one person slightly speeding on North Avenue, but she had a sick pet in the car. Unfortunately, she still got a ticket. But most of all, it was a great conversation, and thank you to Kevin all these years later, because he bought me Starbucks that morning too. So it was very enjoyable, but it was nice to get to know one of our police officers on a very personal level. If you get the opportunity to do our Citizens Police Academy, absolutely do it, because the ride-along is probably the best part of it. So congratulations to our officers, records clerk, and also one of our social workers for their service awards. Memorial Plaza, the vandalism bothers me on a personal level. Being the wife of a Navy veteran, it really breaks my heart that anyone would be so thoughtless and callous to do something like that. What doesn't surprise me is that our police officers stepped up to do something that if Jim Benson hadn't been there, no one would have known about. And it doesn't surprise me. I really honestly think that 2 other officers would have showed up. Any of our officers, honestly, would have gone and done it. But knowing these 2 officers, they're tremendous. They've done so much for Carroll Stream. Russ being a veteran, I think that was probably most personal to him and why he felt the need to go out there and to take care of it. So no other veterans had to see it that weekend. So thank you to them for doing that. I normally don't bring up like personal birthdays and things, but I want to say happy early birthday and thank you to my son. His birthday is on Thursday. And I think everyone knows that this Thursday is a really big deal for the Village of Carroll Stream. It's our concert for the troops. And when we had gotten the schedule of the bands, I said, hey, buddy, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to celebrate your birthday with you. And he said, why? I said, well, there's a Thursday night concert. And he immediately looked at me because he knows. He goes, Seventh Heaven, isn't it? It's Seventh Heaven. He's like, Mom, I completely understand. That's the important one. You got to be at that one. So I want to say thank you to my son, Anthony, for letting us celebrate his birthday a day later. So thank you to him for that, because he knows how important the Concert for the Troops is. As a military family, we are very proud of our military. We're very proud of our veterans, and he knows how important that concert is. Lastly, I'm actually going to ask Chief Homer if he could say a couple of words. We've got this great program that started 3 weeks ago, so this is week 4, neighborhood roll call. When I first saw it on Facebook, my first words was, genius, we should have been doing this years ago. So I went to the first one. I really didn't know. I mean, I've shared it all over Facebook, and I saw people started sharing it all over Facebook, but again, didn't know if anyone would, you know, how many residents would show up to it. The turnout was amazing the first week. Turnout was amazing the second week. Last week there was some weather concerns, so the crowd was a little bit smaller. But I'd like Chief Homer to actually talk about the program, and I really, truly invite any residents to come out. The program's going to be going on through the Wednesday after Labor Day, as I understand. And every week you guys are posting the location on Facebook, so like the Carroll Stream Police Facebook page, find out the location. If you can't go to the one in your neighborhood, you're welcome at any of them. And go every week if you want to. Chief Homer, will you please explain the program?
Sure, although you kind of just did. I don't know if I could do it any better, Trustee Fruzaloni. But Mr. Mayor and Village Trustees, I'm happy to talk about it for a minute. About 3 weeks ago, we implemented a new initiative called Neighborhood Roll Call. This is really a program to bring the department out into the community a little bit more, to create and maintain relationships. That's really what it's all about. I think that when people hear roll call, I think we all have an idea of what that is. There's a shift briefing at the start of every shift. People get their assignments. But really, we talk for a few minutes about what's gone on in the area the previous couple of days. And then we kind of just take some questions from the folks that come out to see us and just engage. We hand popsicles out to the kids and just talk to the folks who live in that area. And it's really just an opportunity to connect. Nothing more, nothing less. We had 50 people or so, 50 residents come out to the first night, about 75 on the second. So we've had a really, really positive response. This Wednesday, we will be out near the Wellington Place apartment complex. So if you're available and you want to come out and see us, please do. We bring some of the street officers out and some of our plainclothes folks out just to engage with folks and have some conversation. So that's about it.
Thank you. The last thing I just want to mention, and I'm kind of actually surprised that no one's mentioned it yet, one of the items on our agenda tonight that we approved was a fireworks show. Everyone has been asking when we were going to be doing our fireworks this year, because we did postpone it July 4th, because at the time that we had to make a commitment, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to celebrate as a community July 4th. So we are very happy that the board tonight approved a contract that we will have fireworks on Thursday, August 12th. It'll be our last Thursday night concert. So we wanted to end summer a great way with a fantastic fireworks show. So hopefully a lot of people can come out and join us as we celebrate Carroll Stream, celebrate our community, celebrate our country. And with that, I will end my report.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Where's Anthony at? Where is he? Is he here in Carroll Stream?
Yes.
You should have invited him to the big thing and told him it was for him.
I did.
Party for seven.
I did, but what he did is he actually changed his work schedule. He works second shift.
Oh.
So he's going to take Friday night off and then work Thursday night, because he was originally going to take his
Happy
birthday
birthday
off.
to Anthony.
Thank you.
Trustee McCarthy.
First off, Jim Benson, thanks for coming in. Thanks for everything you did, of course, to make the memorial happen. Yeah, angry is a good way to put it. What are people thinking? Nobody should have had to win and clean it up because it should have never happened. I 100% agree with the mayor that if we're able to find who did it, any charges that should be brought to him should be done to the max. To send a message, you don't mess with honor, period. It's kind of interesting that all these 25, 20-year, and this week is the police department because of the whole shutdown we're doing that. Departmentally are honoring each of the long-term employees. But, 25 years, 25, 25, 25, 20, 20. John and Russ, who went and cleaned up Memorial Park, that's the attitude that filters down throughout our police department because of our long-term officers and administration we have. I think the message flows through that it's all about Carroll Stream and it's all about doing the right thing. And I think they have a lot to do with it, and it's wonderful seeing it happen that way. I love that they did it when nobody was supposed to be watching, because it doesn't surprise me either. People always tend to forget how many good things officers do because they're too busy listening to all the noise that's out there. They forget that at dinner that a cop will jump up, or a first responder in general will jump up and save the choking kid without even thinking twice about it. That they'll help at a pool when somebody's drowning, not because they're on duty, but because it's the right thing to do. Or that they'll show up at a memorial park that's been vandalized and clean it not because somebody told them to, but because it's what they should do. That's what police and first responders do, and that's the message that I think has gotten lost over the past few years. Painting with a broad brush sometimes affects people poorly, and I think we need to switch that up. Just my opinion. Besides that, yeah, the Thursday concert was a blast. I wish I would have known the freezer wasn't working, then my freezer pops wouldn't have melted for the kids. But, these things happen. So noted for Thursday. We hate that we can't do the 50-50 and the food and the Rotary's not out there. But we made these plans back in March and April. The numbers didn't support having a whole bunch of people out there shaking hands, trading money. And we had to make a call then, not last week or last month. I know I got a number of questions, and I'm sure everybody else did Thursday night. Well, why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? We wanted to find a way to bring the concerts back as soon as possible, even if we had to take some things off for this year. This is not how it's going to be going forward. This is this year. Next year, we're planning on coming back full force like we do every year. This is just us trying to be as safe as possible while giving residents an opportunity to gather and enjoy each other's company with some fun music and let the kids have a good time. So more than anything, this is strictly about being safe, taking the year and being careful about it. We'll be back next year. And by the way, Joe, when you retire, you're not actually supposed to come into work. I just thought I'd point that out. That's the end of my report.
You want to talk a little bit about the fundraiser we just did for Laurie's Children's Hospital?
We do. We had, unfortunately, a child passed at under 2 years old. Under one. And this family, instead of doing what most of us would do and crawl in a hole and not know what to do, they turned it into a celebration of life and turned it into a fundraiser for Laurie's Children's Hospital. It was done it was Wilhelmina's celebration of life on her second birthday, and all proceeds went to Laurie's Children's Hospital. Mapleberry Pancake House opened their doors. They generally close at 3. They opened it from 4 till, I don't know, I think they were in there till 11. And this family put together an amazing setup of raffle prizes, and Bob Mott was there selling baked goods. Mm-hmm. Sylvia was there doing anything and everything that they needed. Face painting. And there was face painting, there was balloons, there was games, you name it. And they were just hoping to, from what I understand, they were hoping to do, a couple $1,000s, and I believe they doubled that at least.
Yeah. Their goal was 2,000, and they had surpassed well over 4,000, and we're still counting.
And it's just awesome for a family to take tragedy And Mayor, I mean, your family knows about that too, to take tragedy and build it into something for the good of other people. I still question whether I could do that. I don't know that I could. But I was honored to be a small, tiny part of it.
You do it for everybody else. So
Well.
if it ever came down to it, you could do it for yourself.
But it was an honor to be there, an honor to play a small part in it. Like I said, the raffles did well, and it was a lot of fun, and congratulations to them for actually doing that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you for being there, everybody that did come. Thank you. Tia, do you have anything you'd like to go over?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you to our community for coming out and celebrating the first concert of the season, and we're looking forward to seeing you at each of the concerts through the rest of the season, as well as that special fireworks show on August 12th with Hairband Night. I'd also like to note that we're doing some additional events at Town Center, which include Move with the Mayor, starting on July 31st at 9 a.m., as we're promoting physical fitness. And on behalf of a Zoom comment that we received during our board meeting from a Jonathan Pawlowski, yes, 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 fireworks. So we're just glad to have summer back and be able to reconnect with our community.
Clerk Swarzy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'd like, first of all, to just commend Lisa, Eileen, Kurt, John, Kevin, and Chad on their longevity with the village and their service, and just, you know, that's what makes this such a great place to live is staff like that. Also, I'd like to thank everyone who put on a great concert last week. I know Tia had a huge part in that, and thanks to all the staff, all the volunteers, all the sponsors, and the band was excellent. So that was great. It was great to have everyone back together again. I think even though we didn't have food and beverages and so on, people were appreciative that we put the concert on in any case, just to bring us back together. And also, I want to mention that in case people aren't aware, we do have new 2022 election dates. So for one thing is that the DuPage County has been emailing me asking for me to help solicit election judge volunteers. So if there's anybody who's interested, they have all the information on their website, dupageco.org, under the elections. They're looking for anybody who can help out. And the two new dates then for next year, the primary is going to be June 28th, and general election will be November 8th. So that will impact, and the reason why the primary is delayed is that with the COVID pandemic, it has delayed all the information from the census, which is needed to do the redistricting. So, so those are the two dates, June 28th, November 8th. We need election judges. Also,
how old do people need to be? Do you know?
I'm sorry?
You know how old people need to be?
You generally have to be 18 years old, but they do have a special program for high school students who are less than 18. Again, that's who want to be involved. They have to have a certain GPA, I think maybe 3.0 and above, probably get, you know, recommendations from the teachers or something like that. But they do have a high school program too, so it's worth looking into. It's all the information's on the DuPage County website. Also, I love the idea of the Move with the Mayor that Tia was talking about. I'm looking forward to bringing Greg with me to some of those walks with the mayor, moving with the mayor. He's excited.
I feel a lot better knowing there's going to be a paramedic.
See, I told you it was important.
Can the stroke via van follow us?
Bring the stroke van.
Just in case.
No, I think it's great. It's great to promote fitness in the community. I love that. Let's see. Also, want to mention that Trustee Gieser was talking about the free vaccination clinic at the library. What date was that?
Tomorrow.
It's, okay. Also.
Tuesday the 20th.
Okay, they're also doing a blood drive tomorrow as well.
They are.
The same time, I think 12 to 6 p.m.? Okay. So just let everyone know there is a severe blood shortage. I went to donate blood I was taking my dog in for grooming recently, and I saw the City Center right next door. It was a Sunday. Walked in, and they took me right away. They said they're open every day of the week, but they said they're desperately in need of blood. There's a huge shortage, especially if anybody in the room is an O type. They really need O type because it can serve everybody. So they say that if you donate, give 1 hour every time donate blood, it saves 3 lives. So worth doing, especially tomorrow since we have Carroll Stream Library that's hosting that. And let's see, I think that's last but not least, just want to remind everyone to shop Carroll Stream. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll be very brief today. I just want to say congratulations to all those employees of the police department who celebrated 20 and 25 years. Incredible number for quite a few employees, so thank you to them. and that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Thank you for watching and make sure I do the right thing. Mr. Meller, Village Manager.
Well, I think everything that needed to be said tonight was said already. So congratulations to our police officers, combined 140 years of service among all those officers and civilians. They do a fantastic job, as was evidenced at the Veterans Memorial over the weekend. And you know, speaking of the walk with the mayor, one of the things that I noticed during the height of the pandemic was a lot of people were out walking with their families and their dogs and riding the bike trails. So if you stop doing that, this would be a good opportunity to restart that on Saturday, the 31st, with the mayor at 9 o'clock. That's all I have.
Thanks. Get a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
When I can't walk any further,
I'll carry you.
That's good. Thank you. Well, the reason we're reading so many 25-year and 25 years, we really haven't done that for the last 2 years almost. So it's like caught up. Some of them might have 26 years now or 27 years. So that's the reason. We have, I think, finance is next. So we're trying to do them in groups, and, you know, I mean, we did Public Works and that, and now Police Department and so on, but it's amazing how many people we have, and I have to agree with Trustee Fruzzoloni. I love reading these and 25, instead of retirement is bad. So, I mean, it's good for them, but for us, I see someone walking away with 25, 28, 30 years of experience, and they take that all with them. And a lot of them pass it on as they're retraining new people, but still isn't the same as losing somebody with 25 or 30 years. So very important to us. I said what I wanted to say about Jim Benson. Jim Benson, that was his dream, to build a Veterans Memorial. Everybody jumped on it, and I'm very angry that I usually don't get angry. But I'm angry that somebody would go out there and do that, because we honored the people that gave their lives for this country. That's what that was built for. That's why we put it at the town center where it belonged. We don't have a downtown. We don't have a train station. I go through this thing, it's like, you know, we're a different type of town. We're a faith-based blue-collar community of people that work hard. I live here because of the people that live in this town. There's no other reason for me to live here. I have to shop almost every place else. We shop Carroll Stream. If I need a lawnmower, I know where to go. I mean, but this isn't like any other town. It's the people that make this town what it is. It's this board, the staff, the people. That's why they're here 25 and 30 years. I don't want to sound like I'm on a soapbox. There's a reason people don't want to leave. This guy, Ricky, was born and raised here. His family's all still here. I mean, there's a reason why he never left here. He could have anytime he wanted to. I mean, people don't want to leave Carroll Stream. I'm not saying we're better than anybody else. We just do things different. It's like, to me, it's like, and I get in trouble for doing this, but to me it reminds me of Mayberry. I can go any place I want, any place. Everybody talks to the mayor, I got shorts on and a T-shirt. It doesn't matter to them. It's not what I'm wearing or what I'm driving or where we're at. It's who we are. We are the community. That's maybe what bothers me when somebody complains that we didn't do something. Okay, there was a reason, but we can't answer it because we're not allowed to. I wish that person was standing at the podium when he said what he said, and then we could have explained to him why we're planning a year, 8 months, 10 months ahead of time. It's hard to do that when we're not in control. Hard to believe we're not in control, but the governor is. And if he puts, we could go right back where we were. Am I right, Mr. Mueller?
We could go back into...
He could go right back for the people that didn't want to get vaccinated, that all at once we got this big outbreak. He could move that right back. Everyone would put the mask back on, cut the restaurants back down, and we're back where we were. And that could happen. And that's when we make decisions, we have to look ahead. We can't make them 2 weeks ahead of time and say, yeah, get the fireworks. Okay, Rick, go out. You're in charge of the parade. He does the parade. That's got nothing to do with us. Rick does that every year with his people. Go out and get all the max. They don't come for free. We have to pay them. Am I right when I say that?
That's true.
So, I mean, we had long conversations on what should we do or not do. Once you start planning what you want to do and then you don't do it, that's really a problem. We thought we'd make it easier for everybody and say we're not going to do it. The fireworks we're going to do later. With that, we agreed with. And I think a lot of people will be happy with that fireworks display. Public Works, I want to thank you because you supplied all of the barriers and everything for Mapleberry. I asked if you would do that. They were there perfectly. They picked them right back up on Monday morning, and I appreciate it. We were able to block the street off, and this way they were able to put tents out there and do face painting or whatever the stuff they were doing. Unfortunately, the weather was bad, but thank you, Phil, for having your people come through with that. I'm just angry, and you know, I don't get angry, and I hate to dwell on it, but I can't get that off my mind. I mean, from when Jim Benson sent me a thing, and I'm like, I can't believe he sent me this. I didn't even know it happened. And then I got more angry when I started to think about the effort that was put in by the people of this community. Everybody, even kids, were selling candy bars for $1, and they were throwing money in while the veterans were sitting there. It bothers me, and I know I can't do this, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about appropriating money to put a security system out there of cameras. And we'll vote on it, and we'll see who up here doesn't want to spend the money to do it, and then we'll figure out what we need to do. And if we have to do a fundraiser because we can't afford it, then we'll start figuring out, we'll raise money. But we're gonna do it. We have to protect that. That's the heart of this town, is the town center. That is the heart of this town. That's my opinion, and I don't think anybody will argue that point with me. That is when it was built, that was the whole intention of it being there, and we should be able to cover that area.
We are investigating the incident. And we will be checking our cameras.
We have cameras out there? I know we do, but
Yep.
no one said that.
Yeah.
Okay. But they cover that area too?
They may have.
Well, would you do me a favor, when you find out who it was, let me give me their address, okay? I'd like to talk to them first. I'm a little different than you would be. I mean, that, it really, maybe they need to be talked to different. I don't know. All I know is that if you let things like that get out of hand, it'll get worse. We need to stop it now, or it's gonna continue to get worse. And I'm all in for stopping it. And I'm sure our police department is all in for stopping it. Yep. It's a safe community. People live here because they feel safe. We got a great fire department, great police department. And I said it, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you know, you don't like the school district, you can send your kids to private school, you can get a bigger computer, use your own computer instead of going to the library, join Lifetime Fitness and don't go to the park district. But when you dial 911, the police officer that usually gets there before the ambulance or before the fire department is the key to feeling safe. And then comes behind them a fire department that's well-trained with so much equipment that it's phenomenal. And the stroke truck, I just read the thing with the stroke truck with Carroll Stream and how they're working with the communities, I mean, from Northwestern. I mean, those are the things that bring this community what it is. That's why we're all passionate about what we do here. We've all been here a lifetime. I've been here 44, 45 years. I mean, this is my town. I love Carroll Stream, and I love the people. And for a few bad people, I don't want to make it look bad for everybody. So, okay. Mr. Rhodes, we're going into closed session?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we're going into closed session for 2 items this evening, Section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act, collective negotiating matters, and Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee. There will be no action taken after executive session, so the motion will be to go into executive session for those 2 purposes and then to adjourn directly from executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Garvey? Yeah. Clerk, call a roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.